I want to talk about the chemical scale and dive into that in detail. The spin is a thought spin. And what's really important about that is that it's essentially a spin that occurs because we start to get out of our heart, out of this place of connection and awareness that we experience when we're connected with God and actually connected with other people and even with ourselves. We start getting up in our head. We get caught in our head. And there's three voices in our head. These three voices are God's, Satan's, and ourselves. And God's voice always speaks first to our heart through an awareness that then will gel into a thought in our mind. Satan's voice always starts in our head. And when we try to plant it in our heart, we'll find that it turns into a negative emotion, that some kind of negative emotion gets triggered. And so these negative emotions can give teeth to these thoughts that we have. If I have a thought that comes up and the fear around it gets really high, suddenly I'm like, oh, I don't know, that might be true, especially if I've had past experiences. That it can be easy for us to get caught in thought spins that get this chemistry building up to the point that our brain, the frontal lobe, begins to shut down because the middle brain is, hey, we're in trouble, we're in danger. There's a lion after us, or there's a snake in front of you that's going to bite you. It's kind of like that kind of experience that the brain is having in that moment. And the frontal lobe, which is normally controlling everything, modulating everything, just goes, hey, I'm out because we got to protect the body right now. And so it brings the middle brain in to try to protect the body. But that can lead us to a place of high pain that then leads us to go, wait, I need a solution. In fact, our brain will do that is, hey, I need a solution to all this pain. And then we can get caught in further thinking, this thought spin that drags us further down until we reach a point of just, I'm exhausted. I really can't fight the thought battle anymore. And that's when we give up. We're in a place where we're wandering around the battlefield. This is a satanic strategy to use these thought spins to get us into this place of we're out of the frontal lobe and into the middle brain. And we're reacting in ways that are very knee-jerk to protect ourselves. Let's look at this thought spin in more detail. I've got a diagram. Let me share the screen. Can you guys see this? Now, the important thing about the spin is to recognize that this spin is not really something that you can analyze. Like, you'll never be able to analyze these 4 steps in your brain as they're happening. And here's why. Each one of the 4 steps that we're showing here happen in about 1 millisecond. So in about the course of a second, you can have gone through 1,000 cycles of one of these thought spins. I'll hear people say, I experienced the flash and then I felt the chemicals. It's happening much faster than that. It's not something that we can slow down in our minds. Essentially, what I see, the other thing that's important about the spin is that we show it as a flash, the chemicals, then the emotions or feelings, and then the filing cabinet gets triggered. But here's how I see it. Thoughts are like a flash to us. So things may have happened in our past that we've given meaning to. And those things now, when we see something similar again, it's like this happens so fast that our mind goes, whoa, something similar to what happened before, and it flashes us. It gives a trigger that causes chemicals to dump. And that chemical dump creates an emotion. Emotions are basically the response of chemistry. And that's why I was saying these emotions actually have a very short life because the chemistry can process out of our body in only about 6 seconds. So thoughts have associated feelings to them that are basically caused by chemistry and are reinforced by our past experiences. It's like trying to analyze a supercomputer doing its job. You just can't break it down that easily. But what's happening as this spin is progressing is we're getting out of our frontal lobe and the middle brain is activating. And it's activating because there's a perceived danger. So the way that we can analyze a spin is through what we call the chemical scale or a thought scale. And the chemical scale is a series of psychological markers that start to occur as we get out of the frontal lobe and we get more and more into the reaction survival animal brain, because this chemistry is building up more and more. So we can use the chemical scale as a much more reliable way to be able to analyze what's really going on in our mind than trying to just use the spin. It's too fast. We couldn't really use that on its own. But think of the spin as kind of like a downward spiral that we're going into. And as we're spiraling in each one of the spirals, the chemicals are building up. So we'll use 0 through 10 for this explanation. Now, 0, I'm in my frontal lobe. I'm in a place of full connection, and I'm outwardly focused. I can see God, other people, and myself more clearly. I have good perspective about things. So I'm not in the spin when I'm zeroed out. I'm at neutral. I'm at the gray rock state of total neutral, and I can see things more objectively. So I start to get into a spin, and the chemicals start to build up, and I find myself at level 1. Level 1 is what I call meh. If someone were to come up to me and say, "How you doing today?" I go, "Meh, I'm all right." Notice the shift there, right? It's not, "Wow, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really connected today." The key thing that I notice at level 1 that's different between 0 and 1 is my focus. My focus shifts from outwardly focused to inward focused. And it may be subtle. This is why level 1 can be hard to recognize. But there's this shift inward, and I'm starting to feel emotions build up. I haven't yet been able to name them, though. And this is the key difference between 1 and 2. At level 2, the mood battle. I am definitely noticing emotions, and I can name them. And I have a simple acronym that I like to use. It's the men's 8-color crayon box of emotions. There are many more than just this acronym, but it's handy. It's called BLAST, B-L-A-S-T. And that stands for bored or betrayed, lazy or lonely, angry, anxious, or annoyed, scared, stressed, or sad, tired, especially emotionally or mentally tired. So maybe I have a lot of stuff that I'm studying and I don't have enough time. Suddenly I'm like, "Ooh, there's not enough time here." And I start to notice myself get a little off. So I get in that kind of meh, level 1. And then as the chemistry builds up, I start to notice the pain more and more. I might start to be able to name it, like stress. And this is level 2, the mood battle. So at level 2, I'm hurting. So it's in this place that I am really believing the lie or the thought that first got me into the thought spin. So there's not enough time. Oh my gosh, like I'm going to be in trouble. Not necessarily literally die, but there's this part of me that feels like something bad is going to happen. So now at level 2, I really believe I'm drowning. It's because I feel that way that the brain goes, "Wait, we need a relief spot." And this is where the enemy can come in and go, "Hey, here is a way to relieve that pain." And that is level 3 on the chemical scale. The moment you feel the first moment of temptation, you feel it pulling you. That is the dude moment or the temptation moment. Most people, when they feel this temptation, they're like, "Oh, I don't want to do that. That's not something I value." But there's this pull that they feel. And it will generally get you into level 4, the stupid conversation or the irrational conversation, where I'm fighting my thoughts with the enemy's thoughts. And it makes sense to do it this time. It's a special case. And we go into this thought battle, and we're getting deeper and deeper into this thought battle until we hit level 5, which is the forget it moment. This is not where we lose the battle. This is where we don't care if we win or lose the battle. And it's that moment that we put down our sword, we put down our shield. And we step into level 6 through 9 called zombie mode. It's where we're just wandering around the battlefield, dazed. What's going on? Or we think there is no battle. I don't see a battle here. Everything looks fine to me. Why do I need all this armor on? I'm just going to take this off. It's where we lose our purpose. And that's what's dangerous about level 5. Because in that place where we've lost our purpose, it's easy for the enemy. And so a lot of times I find guys will say, I'll ask them where they are on the chemical scale. They'll be like, I'm at level 1 or 2. And I will check in with them and I'll be like, hey, you might want to consider you might be past level 5 right now. So this is really important because it can help us see where we are and how far away we've gotten. And it can help us to become more aware of where we are and react or act differently as a result.